This story happened to me on a Thursday night when I was home alone in my apartment complex. I live with my roommate Josh, who was usually out with his girlfriend, so that gave me the luxury of having the place to myself. I was video chatting with 3 classmates of mine on Facebook Messenger. Their names were Eric, Craig, and Cindy. This was my first interaction with them as our professor selected us to be in a group project together. Throughout the night, we brainstormed ideas while getting more acquainted with one another. This is when the story gets a bit weird. Eric spontaneously asked the group chat,
"Hey guys, want to see something cool?"
What is it?
"Getting an A+ in this project would be cool." "Sure man, what's up?" Eric sends the group chat a photo. I click the chat icon and see a disturbing image of a woman with her arms and legs missing. What the hell?
Ew! Why are you sending us this?
Dude, where the hell did you get that photo?
I'll tell you, but you guys really need to keep this a secret. Promise me you won't tell anyone.
This isn't marketing related, but okay, I guess.
Sure, dude. Please don't tell me you were the sicko who took that pic.
I didn't. I actually got the photo from the dark web.
Dude, you go on the dark web?
What's the dark web?
Supposedly it's this hidden part of the internet where you can buy illegal stuff. I personally wasn't that educated about the dark web, but I did hear rumors about it growing up. I've always acknowledged the existence of these kinds of things growing up, but I was still unaware as to what potential atrocities lie within the online world. Eric then says,
"Yeah, I just recently started getting into it. I found the photo from one of the forums I came across called Homemade Dolls. Here's the full-size picture."
He then sends us the exact same photo, except this time it had a description box next to it with the title, Doll Number 20. Why the hell, of all people, did I have to be in a group project with this weirdo? The details in the description stated inhumane acts that can be performed on the victims before being shipped to their buyers. I felt pretty disgusted reading the dialogue, but I was still somewhat skeptical about the whole thing. It was hard to deny its legitimacy, though. The authenticity of the image looked too real to be a hoax.
To be honest, this looks photoshopped.
I don't know, it looks pretty real to me. Dude, that's disgusting. Why do you even go on sites like that?
Well, I only go on it occasionally.
Midway through Eric's sentence, a random user joins the video chat. Who's that?
I don't know.
I swear to God, we better not be getting hacked.
Eric, is this one of your stupid friends from the dark web? I'm gonna call the cops if it is.
That's when I decide to move my mouse cursor to exit the video chat. Why the hell isn't this working? Come on, work, goddammit! My cursor was resisting to move no matter how many times I clicked or moved my mouse. That's when the random user's video turned on. It was a guy wearing a pig mask. The mask didn't look like some dollar store knockoff. It looked like the skinned face of an actual pig. He wore it like he was Leatherface from the Texas Chainsaw Massacre. Hey, is anybody seeing what I'm seeing? Eric, dude, I really hope this isn't a stupid prank.
It's not, dude. I don't even know who that is.
Why is there a guy wearing a pig mask on my screen?
Guys, what's going on?
I don't know why, but something about that moment, I just knew. I was looking into the eyes of what true evil looks like. That's when my classmate's video chat completely froze. The only screen functioning was the pigman's. It seemed like our computers were being hijacked. I couldn't quite comprehend what was going on till I heard the pigman say, "Can you see me? Say yes if you can hear me."
Say it!
I replied with, "Yes, what do you want from me?" in an uncontrollable stutter.
You know that feeling you get when you're with someone for so long, every single day just drags and becomes a routine? Well, I just want something new and fresh, you know? Something vibrant that will make me feel alive again. I just need a new doll. What do you say? Does that sound like a brilliant plan to you?
I was completely appalled by what was transpiring. That's when I hear a muffled female's voice in the background. The pigman then swivels the camera towards the direction of the muffled voice, only to reveal a woman with no arms and legs. She had duct tape on her mouth and a chain bound around her neck. The woman was flailing her severed arms wildly in a desperate attempt to escape. A couple seconds later, the pigman approaches her while holding an axe, the kind of axe lumberjacks use to chop down trees. I began to hyperventilate as I knew the inevitable fate this woman was about to endure. He then raises the axe up in the air. I begin screaming from the top of my lungs, "Leave her alone or I'm calling the cops!" As I took my last glance at the woman, I realized that it was the same woman in the photo that Eric sent. That's when the pigman smashes the axe against the woman's skull repeatedly. I practically leap up from my chair and begin to vomit. This sadistic display was unbearable. What the hell is going on? Someone tell me I'm dreaming. There's no way this is real. I look back on the screen, only to see nothing. Like the whole thing was just a bad dream, or a figment of my imagination. What the hell just happened? I know I'm not going crazy. I immediately messaged my classmates in the group chat saying, "Please tell me you guys saw all of that. Did any of you see the pigman? We need to report him." Yeah, I briefly saw him, but then my video chat ended.
Same here. That was weird as hell.
Must have been a hacker. Thank God my screen went back to normal. Did you see anything, Terrence?
I respond as nonchalantly as I can, saying, "Yeah, basically what you guys saw. I think it's best that we just put this behind us and move on from here, you know?" I didn't know if that was the right decision. I didn't want to further escalate the situation. Acknowledging the pigman's existence was one thing, but going into further detail about afterwards just felt unnecessary. This is the part where I wish the story ends. It's been a year since the incident. I ended up dropping out and taking the semester off due to the mental trauma I endured. I now work at a local retail store. I was coming home from work one day and I saw an envelope sitting in my mail slot. I open it and discover the most horrifying thing that sends shivers down my spine. It was a picture of my classmate, Cindy. Except she had no legs and no arms. The picture was titled Doll Number 21. This story happened when my girlfriend Lindsay resided in Tokyo, Japan for her teaching abroad occupation. She taught English to foreigners for a fairly decent pay. I personally wasn't too cultivated by the idea, as the thought of Lindsay being in a foreign country by herself really stressed me out.
I can't wait for you to fly over.
Yeah, me too, babe. Hey, can you please make sure your doors are locked?
I already locked it, silly. Stop being so paranoid.
I know I'm being paranoid. I just want you to be safe, okay?
Don't worry, I am.
Being away from Lindsay definitely took a toll on my health, as I would constantly get anxious from worrying about her safety. Knowing that I didn't have the capability of protecting her from any unlawful perpetrators always gave me extreme anxiety, which is why my doctor prescribed an inhaler for me to use every time I felt the symptoms get out of hand. I didn't do too well with long-distance relationships, but I really wanted to support Lindsay in her career endeavors. I'd fly over there on occasion, usually around the holidays when work wasn't so strenuous for the both of us. I remember spending the majority of my time watching the rather odd Japanese game shows while Lindsay and her roommate Saki would do after-hours work from home. Staying in Japan was quite the culture shock. I wasn't used to the Eastern lifestyle, but the longer I stayed there, the more accustomed I became. Or I should say, the more comfortable I felt with Lindsay's stay there. Being halfway across the world made me adjust my sleeping schedule, as I made it my duty to video chat Lindsay every day at exactly 3 a.m. in the morning. 3 a.m. over here was equivalent to 5 p.m. over there according to the time zone difference. I'd make it a routine to catch Lindsay after her work shift was done, even if that cost me a few hours of sleep. You guys doing anything for Halloween?
Yup, Saki and I are probably going bar hopping.
That sounds nice. I wish I could be there
Babe, we'll talk later. Saki's calling me.
Seeing that Lindsay had a roommate to acquaint herself with gave me a little peace of mind. A lot of my friends were well aware of how concerned I was about Lindsay's well-being, so much so that they would message me encouraging words to help cheer me up. But all of that changed one night when I got a message from one of my close colleagues from school. I opened the message and read,
Hey Craig, I know you're concerned about Lindsay, so I thought you might want to check this link out.
It was a link to a forum titled, Is Teaching Abroad in Japan Safe? I hesitantly clicked the link, only to see the forum containing a large thread of positive comments saying stuff like, Teaching there was a great experience, highly recommended, or once you go Japan, you'll never need another plan, stuff like that. I then came across a user that posted a comment saying, For those who are considering being a tutor in Japan, you might want to watch this first before you fully commit, with a link right next to it. I felt extremely skeptical clicking the link, but my curiosity was too overbearing to withstand my compulsion, so I clicked it. I then saw a low-grade video of a woman with her hands bound to the ceiling while being completely wrapped in duct tape. The woman was also wearing a plain white mask over her face with the word dog written on it. I couldn't tell if this was a joke or some sort of sick snuff film until I saw a man approaching the woman holding a large machete. I could hear this poor lady screaming in agony as he began to shout, What is your name?
Please, sir, please just let me go. Please just let me go.
What is your name?
My name is Kathy. Please don't hurt me.
Wrong answer! Your name is Dog! That's when I exited my web browser and instinctively video called Lindsay. It was about 3:15, the time I usually video called her. Oh, why now? Come on, answer the video call, damn it! I assumed she was still at work, or possibly out with the roommates, so I waited patiently for a return call at her convenience. I decided to stroll around Instagram for another hour or so till it was time to call it a night. I noticed Lindsay had posted a few pictures from the Halloween night out she had a couple days ago. It looked like a huge costume festival of some sort on the streets of Japan. That's when I spotted a shocking revelation in each of the photos presented. I saw a man wearing the same god mask as in the snuff film I'd seen earlier, nonchalantly masquerading in the background of the photos. He was in every photo looking towards the direction of where the picture was being taken. Or should I say, the direction of where my girlfriend and her roommate were. That's when I get a video call from Lindsay. I unnervingly accept it and see what seemed to be Lindsay and her roommate Saki wearing white masks with the words Dog 1 and Dog 2 written on them. Hey, why the hell are you guys wearing that? I want to play a game. Guys, who the hell is that? They both stood there silent looking at the webcam, almost like my words didn't have any significant purpose to them. I then heard the man in the background saying, Transfer $20,000 to Dog 2's PayPal account right now, or else they both die. What the hell is going on? Please, leave them alone or I'll call the cops! So be it. Dog 2, take out Dog 1, now!
Please don't make me do this.
Do it! Dog 2, take out Dog 1 now, or else you're both getting taken out!
Please don't make me do that.
Do it, Dog 2! Take out Dog 1 right now! Or else I'm taking you both out!
No, please, please.
That's when Lindsay raises a large kitchen blade in the air and stabs Saki in the neck. I can hear her gargling her own blood while struggling to gasp for what seemed to be her last remaining breaths on Earth. Dude, please stop this. I'm begging you. I'll do anything you want. Just please don't hurt my girlfriend. That's when the voice in the background revealed himself, only to unveil the same man wearing the god mask that I'd seen in the snuff film and Instagram photos earlier. He then grabbed Lindsay by the forehead and raised a huge machete in the air, saying, Transfer the money or else this dog gets put down too. Dude, please, I'm transferring the money right now. That's when I grabbed my phone and immediately began to transfer $20,000 to Lindsay's PayPal account.
Here, look, I transferred $20,000. Now please, can you let her go? I did everything you wanted.
The man then approached the camera up close and began saying, I'm just a guy trying to survive in this cold, cold world. I just do what I have to do to put food on my family's table, you know? Just know that God has nothing to do with this. What the hell? I began a request for another video chat, but there was no answer. That's when I get 2 messages from Lindsay's account. I click the chat box and see an image of Lindsay's severed head on top of the computer desk. The other image was a meme face with the caption, "Gotcha." This is a story that took place back when I was living with my ex-girlfriend Jasmine. I had recently moved from my parents' house and into an apartment complex where it was surprisingly quieter compared to the suburban area I was used to. Jasmine and I were both college graduates who worked full-time in our respective fields of study. I was in the construction business as I was always a blue-collar kind of guy who enjoyed hands-on work revolving around the trades industry. Jasmine was a financial advisor, so she usually got to work from home while I had the usual 9 to 5 that I'd become accustomed to for the latter part of my life. On my off time, I would usually hang out with Jasmine at our local park or simply kick back and binge watch several shows on Netflix till I had completely passed out. Going to our local park around the evening time became a daily occurrence of ours, as rowing back and forth on the swings was Jasmine's way of de-stressing just before the very next day at work. This became a daily routine of ours since moving into the new neighborhood, just so we could feel more comfortable within our new whereabouts. Well, at least with the exception of Saturday nights, when I usually video called 3 close friends of mine from where I originally resided. Their names were Joe, Max, and Steve. This was a way I could stay connected with my friends, as I didn't want to tarnish my friendships with them, nor did I want to be known as the odd friend who cuts people off because he was quote-unquote whipped.
Hey Rick, how's your stay over there?
Must be good getting some action without your parents in the next room, huh? No comment.
Hey boys, we gonna keep talking about Ricky's love life, or we gonna get this party started?
Cheers to that, Stevie boy.
Dang, what's the rush? We have all night, dude. Alright, who wants to go first?
This was how me and my friends socially interacted with one another. We shared our personal scary stories and videos from around the internet that would be categorized within the horror genre. My friends and I have been horror addicts since childhood, so geeking over anything horror related was equivalent to our summer camp days back when we were still in elementary school. I didn't want to abruptly end the so-called tradition we had established despite living miles away from them, so I would make sure I video called them every so often. I recall dozing off from the lackluster stories being shared by my 2 friends Joe and Max, until it was Steve's turn to share his story.
You guys ever been on the dark web?
No, not me.
Not me.
Dude, don't tell me you actually went on it.
I personally didn't, but my younger brother did. He recently showed me this weird snuff film the other day that I thought you guys might like.
I personally felt intrigued by the idea, as I didn't know or see much content regarding the dark web. All I knew was that it was a hidden browser that sold illegal products you would find on the street, except everything was online, or at least on the dark side of the internet. That's when Steve extemporaneously invites his younger brother in his room and introduces him.
Hey boys, say hi to my brother Eric.
What up, dude?
What's up, Eric? You guys want to see something cool?
Hell yeah. Sure, dude. This better be good or else I want 5 minutes of my life back. Eric shares his screen and opens up a video from an array of MP4 files shown on a folder. I then saw a low-quality video of a woman suspended in midair with her arms and feet attached with steel chains.
She was oriented in this awkward bird-like position, almost like her perpetrator had no intentions of providing any circulation to the woman's extremities. I could see this poor lady desperately wailing through the duct tape on her mouth while hopelessly trying to free herself by vigorously shaking her arms and legs. I remember gasping in awe as I didn't know if this was some sort of weird hoax or if this was a legitimate snuff film about to unfold. That's when I heard a loud sound abruptly come from the background, like someone was revving an engine to a motor of something. I then saw a large man approaching the woman while wearing a pig mask and holding a running chainsaw in a barbaric fashion. It looked like some psycho wanting to Renaissance Leatherface from the Texas Chainsaw Massacre, based on the way he held the chainsaw and the attire he presented himself in.
You're my lucky number 20. You know that? I never thought I'd reach this milestone, you know? All that hard labor just to get to you. Do you even know what you put me through? Huh? Tell the people watching at home how much you appreciate my hard work. Say it! That's what I thought. You're going to be the best doll I've ever had. You complete me.
Rick, what the hell is going on? What are you watching?
Jasmine, get out! I don't want you seeing this! That's when the pigman began to pierce the chainsaw into the woman's arms and legs as each limb dropped from her torso and was left dangling from each chain.
No. This can't be real. What kind of sick person would do this to someone?
I remember feeling the sensation of a trickle of blood running down my nostrils as I see my friends visibly shaken up by the footage. The woman had all 4 of her limbs dissected by the chainsaw as she eventually collapsed on the floor and began having a seizure. I abruptly end the video call. I couldn't watch that anymore. I decided to message my friends through a group chat saying that I was throwing in the towel and heading to bed. Trying to comprehend what had just occurred was almost impossible. I couldn't help but tremble in the same spot for about several minutes. I eventually end up crawling into bed and laying next to Jasmine while trying to force myself to sleep and not think about what transpired on that video chat. This is when the story gets more disturbing. Fast forward about 2 years, my life has taken a drastic turn for the worst. My girlfriend and I mutually agreed to separate while my dad passed away at the age of 45 due to heart failure, leaving my mother and 3 children, including myself, alone. I never felt so depressed in my life. I would sometimes spontaneously cry at work while trying to hide my emotions from the other employees. It honestly felt like the days were getting longer and my weekends were getting shorter as time went on. I couldn't help but think that that video was some kind of curse. I remember being at the stage where I had completely isolated myself from everyone around me, including my close relatives. I eventually developed an obsession over the dark web and installed a Tor browser on my laptop. I wanted to climb further down the rabbit hole. I wanted to see if I could discover anything related to the pigman or the woman he had mutilated that night. I recall surfing the hidden wiki only to come across a few links selling various weapons, illegal services, and narcotics. I obviously wasn't interested in such things, so I began browsing some more. After 2 hours of intense searching, I found similar style images of females having their extremities amputated and then being sold as so-called dolls. I then came across an MP4 file on the homepage of one of the links on the hidden wiki. I pressed play and saw a video of a woman swinging back and forth on a swing with a paper mask on her face. This honestly looked like the same setting as the previous video. I then saw the same large man approach her as he kicked the poor lady off of the swing and began yelling,
Bark for me! Now walk, doll!
That's when the amputated woman began walking on all 4s as if she was a stray dog or something. As the pigman got closer to the camera, I could see he was wearing what looked like the skin face of an actual human. What makes the story more disturbing was how similar the skin mask looked in comparison to Jasmine's face. From the identical freckles to the skin complexion to the swing, All the pieces were starting to add up as I genuinely believed this woman could potentially be my ex-girlfriend Jasmine. I then Googled Jasmine's name, only to find her in a missing persons report. Several months later, my speculation would finally come to a halting stop as Jasmine's body was found in a black garbage bag, located in a dumpster outside a meat market. At the time that this occurred, Jasmine was found unresponsive and in critical condition. She was eventually taken to the hospital and miraculously survived her injuries. About a year or two after her recovery, she was given a formal unpublished interview, but it was reported that she had suffered from severe Stockholm Syndrome. This is what it looked like.
Today is currently Wednesday the 21st. The time is approximately 3 p.m. in the afternoon. We are here with Jasmine, who will briefly answer questions based on her current health and share her story. Now, Jasmine, if you feel uncomfortable at all during the interview, feel free to let us know and we'll take a break, okay?
I want to return home to Master's Swing, where the world is divine and the dolls are beautiful.
So, first and foremost, how is your health today?
I want to return home to Master's Swing, where the world is divine and the dolls are beautiful.
Jasmine, how would you describe your experience while being held in captivity?
I want to return home to Master's Swing, where the world is divine and the dolls are beautiful.
Can you describe your captor's appearance? Jasmine, are you okay? Do you need some water?
I want to return home to Master's Swing, where the world is divine and the dolls are beautiful. I want to return home to Master's Swing, where the world is divine and the dolls are beautiful.
Can you please tell us what his name is?
Swing, where the world is divine and the dolls are beautiful. I want to return home to Master's
Jasmine,
Swing,
please,
where the
disclose
world is
your
divine
captor's
and
name
the
to
dolls
us.
are beautiful. I want to return home to Master's Swing.
Tell us his name,
where the
damn
world
it.
is divine and the dolls are beautiful.
Tell
I
us
want to
his
return
name.
home to Master's Swing, where the world is divine.
What is
and the
your
dolls are
master's
beautiful.
name?
His name is Pigman.
Hello? Is anyone there? Can anyone hear me? I've been here for a really long time. I haven't eaten or drank in a long time. Oh my god, he's here. I think he's gonna kill me. Mom, Dad, if you're watching this, please know that I love you. Tell Mandy and Jeff that I love.
I was awoken from the traumatic imagery of my lucid dreams. The dreams reoccur almost every day and involve the same girl who constantly pleads for help. I've since taken medication prescribed by my doctor, but I don't think any amount consumed could help relieve the trauma. I used to do school full-time, but dropped out as my work hours and personal life became too overwhelming. My lack of sleep and countless hours on the internet would literally start to take over my life. I had recently started ingesting beer mixed with under-the-counter sleeping pills just before bed, as it would help knock me unconscious till my next work shift. Besides my time being consumed through sleep or work, I had gradually grown an obsession with the deep web since the disappearance of my classmate Cindy. Her disappearance had become a cold case despite any testimonies and evidence given to the police. It was rumored that she was kidnapped and trafficked on the dark web, but that's not even the worst part about it. I came home from work one night and discovered a disturbing photograph lying within my mail slot. The photo was titled Doll Number 21.
It was an image of Cindy, except she had her arms and legs missing. I've consistently dug down the rabbit hole since and even got my school colleague Eric to chime in. If I had to be honest, I didn't look at Eric as much of a friend, but more as a fellow computer geek. I can't say that being friends with an internet warlock of his magnitude was a bad thing, but at the end of the day, it was all just an act. My suspicions regarding Eric's involvement in Cindy's disappearance had grown substantially since the last video chat I had with him. It began with some casual small talk to us sharing internet conspiracy theories, and then eventually him disclosing some images from the dark web. Hey Terrence, want to see something cool?
Dude, I'm not in the mood for that right now.
Oh come on, stop being a wimp.
I'm not trying to go missing on a milk carton, bro.
Like Cindy?
That's not funny, dude.
His repulsive laughter made his face look like a live Disney character, but at the same time it gave off an uncanny atmosphere. I couldn't help but address the elephant in the room, so I said,
Dude, can I ask you something? What do you want?
do you, by any chance, know where Cindy is? Like, where she
Why the hell do you keep bringing her up? Let her rest in peace, goddammit!
Dude, she's not dead. Don't you remember? I was the one that found the Doll 21 pic in my mail slot.
You mean pictures like these?
Dude, where the hell did you get those? Where do you think I got them, idiot?
My persistence and relentlessness wouldn't allow Eric to get off the hook that easy. So I continued to egg him on by saying stuff like, dude, please, you have to help me find Cindy. A few seconds later, Eric sends a message saying, click this, with a link right next to it. My heart began pacing harder and harder. I immediately assumed that the link had something to do with Cindy. I began to slowly move my mouse cursor towards the URL when Eric says,
Click the link now!
I responded with, what the hell is your problem?
Hurry up and click the link already!
I couldn't help but leave a few question marks in the chat as I was genuinely confused and hesitant to click the link.
Click the link or else!
Dude, what are you sending me?
If you don't click the link now, all bets are off! Stop threatening me! Click the fucking link!
I didn't know if he was playing a prank or not, but I knew I had to be careful with him. He was definitely the type that could hack my computer at will. Again, I shifted my cursor towards the URL when Eric suddenly begins to spam my chat box with the same link over and over again. It was almost as if his keyboard had jammed. I felt a sense of claustrophobia rain down my surroundings as I began to smash my keyboard, only to miraculously open the URL and see a meme face with the word gotcha written above it. Unfortunately, that wasn't going to be the last interaction I had with Eric. One night, Eric invited me over for the usual bit of surfing the web. We watched over a dozen snuff films that he archived on his desktop while getting plastered with some beers I brought over. The more we slammed back our beers, the more the night started transitioning to a foggy blur. I saw Eric gradually roll his eyes to the back of his head and pass out cold on his chair. Good thing my under-the-counter sleeping pills came in handy for this occasion. I frantically began going through his computer files, trying to find anything related to doll number 21. Or should I say Cindy. That's when I discovered about 20 to 30 folders titled Doll Number, along with the correlating digit. I selected a random video from one of the folders and witnessed one of the most disturbing snuff films I've ever laid eyes on. It was a video of a woman swinging back and forth on a swing, except she had no arms and legs, just like Cindy. The sight was what I can only describe as inhumane. I couldn't comprehend how one could find so much pleasure in inflicting harm to someone else on camera. I saw the woman babbling some sort of gibberish when a man wearing a pig mask entered the camera shot. He forcefully grabbed the woman's face while saying,
Repeat after me! I want to return home to Master Swing, where the world is divine and the dolls are beautiful.
I'm gonna return to Master Swing.
Where the world is divine and the dolls are beautiful.
The world is divine and the dolls are beautiful.
Louder!
I want to return to Master Swing, where the world is divine and the dolls are beautiful.
Louder!
I want to return to Master Swing, where the world is divine and the dolls are beautiful.
Louder! I can't hear you!
I want to return to Master Swing, where the world is divine and the dolls are beautiful. I want to return to Master Swing, where the world is divine and the dolls are beautiful.
That's when the man carved a dull knife under the lady's face, skinning her like he was Leatherface from the Texas Chainsaw Massacre. My heart felt like it was going to drop to my stomach. The poor lady's face literally toppled over her chest. I immediately clicked off the link and began to further stroll around Eric's files. I opened the doll number 21 folder and saw hundreds of MP4 files of Cindy and that man. The pig man. I'll never forget the excruciating agony he put that poor girl through.
Do you have any idea the pain and misery you put me through? Do you? Oh, mileage and sacrifice. Just to get to this very moment. A moment we must cherish. Dolls like you don't come around very often, you know?
Please, I just want to go home.
You're home! Now say it!
That's when the pig man began butchering Cindy's arms and legs off. I felt blood oozing out of my face as I sat there in disgust. There was no way I could stomach the atrocity I just witnessed. But the next clip was the one that took all the marbles. It was a video of Cindy, except it looked identical to my reoccurring dreams. The dreams I see every night just before going to sleep. Or should I say nightmares?
Hello? Is anyone there? Can anyone hear me? I've been here for a really long time. I haven't eaten or drank in a long time. Oh my god, he's here. I think he's gonna kill me. Mom, Dad, if you're watching this, please know that I love you. God, please help me.
God has nothing to do with this.